Right now, I am joined by Kelly Chapman, who teaches yoga at the Refinery. We're going to show you how to do a simple yoga workout so you can get down on the floor like we are right now if you want and follow along. If you are mobility challenged, you can also do this visually in your mind and you get some of the same benefits. Welcome to ciLiving.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I am so excited. All right, so workout video time. What are we doing yoga-wise today?
We're going to do just a couple little movements just to get into the hips, open ourselves up really well. A lot of us do a lot of sitting throughout the day, so anything we can to kind of open up the hips, work from an open position, it'll just make you feel good throughout the rest of your day. All
right, great. Well, here we go. Feel free to follow along.
So we're going to go ahead and start with our big toes to touch and bring the knees a little bit wider.
Okay.
We're going to sit those hips back to the heels and just lower yourself down. You can bring your belly down to the ground or your chest down. You probably won't reach. But just coming into this child's pose here.
Okay.
Very restorative. Just breathing right into where you feel the sensations. With every inhale in, just feeling the expansion through your hips here. And with every exhale out, just feeling it loosen up, sinking a little further into the ground or the mat, wherever you are.
The sound of your voice is really relaxing. So if you're doing this visually at home, just concentrate on your breathing, right?
Absolutely. There is infinite depth in every position because the breath can take you further with every single exhale.
All right, so what's next?
From here, inhale, begin to come up onto your hands and knees. We're coming into a tabletop, so knees directly under hips, wrists directly underneath shoulders. Go ahead and tuck those toes, so bring your toes down to the ground if you were on the tops of your feet, and slide those wrists back just a little bit.
Okay.
Spread your fingers wide, press your hands into the ground, and lean forward over those wrists just to get a bit of tension running right through the front and backs of your wrists before you put any sort of weight on them.
Oh, that's really good. I like that because I feel like a lot of times people forget to stretch.
Oh.
I know I'm guilty of that all the time. And then when you're done, you're like, oh, I feel a little bit of pulling, or, oh, that probably, maybe I shouldn't have done so much there. So I like that we're sort of incorporating the warm-up into the exercise.
100%. Coming back, turn those fingertips to face towards the knees. This one's a bit more intense, but you can begin to lean back as much as comfortable for you.
Okay.
Can even bend those elbows if you want a little bit more getting into the hands. We spend a lot of time on our phones and on computers.
Yeah.
We don't do any stretching for our wrist, which is why there's a borderline epidemic of carpal tunnel running through the modern world.
I was just gonna ask, I feel like this would be good for carpal tunnel because I crochet and I find after an hour of that, I'm like, so this is a great exercise if you're a crafter.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So we can come back up. We're gonna sit back on those heels. This might feel a little intense through the bottom of your feet, and just shake those wrists out real quick. And we're gonna come into our first downward dog here. Probably a standard yoga pose a lot of people have seen, so come up off the knees.
Okay.
Coming into a plank. And from here, we'll just lift our hips up and back.
I'm cheating and using my hands. I feel like that's the good thing about
yoga is if you can't quite do a pose, you can always modify. So you did it the right way, plank and then all the way up. But if you have bad knees or if your wrists aren't strong enough or things like that, you can sort of move in a way that's comfortable for you.
One of the most important parts is, and there are yoga teachers that'll argue with me on this, but there are no right ways to do yoga.
Right.
Yoga is your practice. Whatever feels good to you here is the right answer.
Definitely.
But
I see your face is turning red. I'm like, that's why I figured I would conveniently sit here and give them some information.
We're gonna come up into a little front lunge here.
Okay.
And with an inhale, we're gonna bring those hands up overhead, begin to sit down into those hips. You should feel that length run right through the front of your left hip.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
If you want, think about squeezing that left glute as tight as you can. It'll open up that front left hip flexor a little bit more here.
Okay.
Reaching up and then bringing the hands back down to frame that foot, moving that foot back, and we'll just find that same pose here on the other side. Just a couple movements just to kind of get people feeling good. And really, you don't have to do these in a yoga flow with an inhale, lifting those arms up.
Okay.
This is These are some of those poses that you could just get down on the ground if you have an office at work or if you're home on lunch, anything.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, like you said, if you have an office, this is good just to get out of your chair, even if you have about 3 minutes.
Yeah, you do not need long to do any of these, and some movement is better than no movement.
That is a good philosophy. Well, thank you so much for being here and for showing us these incredible stretches. And if you want to do a full yoga practice, come to the Refinery. Visit us on the web at ciLiving.tv and we can connect you.